Hi, I'm Reynolds with Allie's Organics, and we're going to demonstrate on how to do a home compost pit. And what we want to do is just find a spot in our yard and just start digging. We want at least 6 inches deep to 12 inches deep. Probably 3 by 3 is going to be the size that we're going to want to go for. Just take your dirt and just put it off to the side, because every time we add something to this, we're going to add a little bit of this dirt back in. We're just going to continue to dig this hole out. I'm just going to make it a nice square. I'm only going to go 6 inches just so we can speed it up just a little bit here. 12 inches is great. The reason why we would do this is because when you dig a pit and you put your compost in there, you're going to end up with all of the organisms that are in the soil that will migrate into your compost and helps it decompose a lot faster. You'll have worms that are coming up in here to help decompose, to help the process along. There's lots of worms that I'm seeing right now in this pit already. I'm just going to square this off. I'm not going to dig the whole thing out just for time purposes, but I'll just start this one end. So we just want to get 6 inches down, and I'm going to continue to come across here so that I have kind of a nice pit going here. Then, once you've got this all cleaned out and squared off, so this would be all the way across, then you can start adding your composting material. Just got some grass clippings. You can throw some hay in there, or anything from the garden or the kitchen, any kind of scraps. Like always, with all of the compost that I do, I'll always throw in some blood meal and some bone meal. That helps activate it. And it also makes for a more complete compost. We're going to continue to layer it, but we want to make sure that it's watered in. Then every 3 or 4 days, we can come here and we can stir this stuff up that we put in here. After 3 days, take a little bit of that dirt and sprinkle over the top of it. Stir that in too. You can keep adding, and then once it's all broke down, then you can go ahead and remove it from the pit and start a new one. Okay, now if we had a whole bunch of compost in here and we didn't really want to be digging and stirring it up, another option would be to use a little tiller, and I'm going to do that just to show you. Love these machines. You can see, just mixes it up really nice. You can do this with any of your compost heaps. It helps turn it, and a quick mix is just a kind of a little tip. And that's one of the things that I use even in my big compost over here. Of course, you'd have more compost in here and we'd have this finished dug out. But once you've added your blood meal and bone meal into this, you don't need to keep adding it. Just that first initial time is all that you need to do to it. So let it sit here. It might take a month and it might take 2 months. And you can tell when it has no more smell or aroma to it, it just smells earthy, then it's ready to go, be put into your garden. And again, you know, it's just nice to have a pit where you can have all of those living organisms that work up into your compost, helps break it down a little bit faster, it's a little bit healthier, and by adding some of the dirt that you've put in there also brings in some more organisms. It's a great way to go. Try the pit composting, you might like it.